Hello and welcome to Horror Rewind. This is Kelly Florence,
And I'm Meg Hoffdog.
and today we're talking about a bunch of things in horror and not that we've watched. So,
Yeah.
Meg, how are you on this dreary? It's a dreary Thursday
You
where I
know
am.
what? I was going to say, here, the sun's actually out. The birds are singing. I walked Dexter to the bus stop today, and I was like, thank God there's a little bit of sun, because yesterday was very gloomy. It sounds like it's the same up there now, huh?
Yeah, it's still gloomy. At least though we were
Mhm.
supposed to get snow and we didn't.
Yay!
Meg, I think we've turned into our parents because we're talking about
Yeah,
weather and we're like drinking coffee and stuff.
we are. We're drinking coffee right now. Um, I've become that person where like I make my kids like turn the light on to like read something. I'm like, it's too dark in here. How can you read that? I keep like making, even though I'm completely alone when I'm watching something or not, like Luke and I are watching Walking Dead the other day, and I just kept being that person. I'm like, oh, like I kept making sounds like, oh my god. So yeah, it just eventually happens to us.
But also, are we ever going to be able to go back into society and like see movies in the theater? Because that's what I'm used to now. I'm just like, get out of there.
I
And I don't do
know.
that in the theater.
No, but see, my mom used to like
Oh,
I'd go to a comedy with my mom, and she'd embarrass me because she was laughing, which it's like that's what you're supposed to be doing. But you know, when you're like 16, that's like, oh my God, mom, like shut up. So I don't know. I think it's okay. I think we just need to embrace this momness and just go to the theater and be like, girl, get out of there.
yeah. I think
Come
so.
on. Just enjoy.
We're gonna do it. I wonder what the first movie we're gonna see back when it's safe. What back when it's going to be safe. I mean,
Yeah.
Candyman is like
Oh
coming out in
my
August,
God.
right? It's happening.
I know. I mean, I hope we can see a movie before then,
Yeah, yeah,
but I don't know. I'm still not vaccinated yet. So
yeah.
I'm just like looking, I'm watching people on Twitter get vaccinated, and I'm just looking out my window, like, when will it be my turn?
It has to be soon. It has to be soon.
Yeah, it will be. But I'm ready to go to the theater. I'm ready to smell the popcorn. I'm ready to have that like horror experience, like where everybody is reacting. Like the last movie I saw in the theater was The Invisible Man, and it was so fun to have people like reacting around you. And
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes there's like annoying theater experiences, although at this point I'll take it.
I know. I know.
I'll
I
take the snores and the like turning the phone on and all the stuff.
it's fine.
It's fine.
The things we took for granted.
I know. Although
Now,
we are pretty spoiled at home because we've got Shudder and
mhm.
all the streaming, and
I
so
know
that's
we
good at
we
least.
couldn't ask for anything more. At least I'm not back where I used to live in the country with no Wi-Fi. It was just,
Yeah.
either dial-up or um, phone and the physical Netflix DVDs.
Oh my god. Yeah. I'm acting like that's the worst thing in the world. But it's rough, okay? It's rough
Yeah, I
for
know.
a horror
Especially, yeah,
fan.
when once you get used to Wi-Fi, like how do you go back
Mm,
to the farm, literally or
uh,
figuratively?
I don't know.
So speaking of streaming, we both watched, and we hinted about this 2 weeks ago. We both watched this new movie on Shutter called Lucky, and I'm gonna look up the filmmakers. But do you want to give everybody a little? Where should we get into spoilers?
Yeah, I think we can get to the
Okay, so
spoilers.
listen, we're gonna get into some spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, you might want to plug your ears or come back later. But tell everybody the sort of the setup.
Well, um, this woman played by Bria Grant, she is like living her normal life. She's like a self-help kind of expert or something. And she has this man like coming into her house. And it's really creepy because her husband's like, she's like, oh my God, there's this man. He's like, yeah, that's the man. And she's like, what? I thought that was a really creepy moment.
It's so weird because you're like, wait, is this a Groundhog's Day type of thing? You
Right.
know? Or is this a dream? Is she in a
Right.
coma or something? Like there, it could go so many directions.
Yeah, it could go so many directions. And it's kind of interesting because like every day is different in terms of like it's not the same day, but the guy comes back every night to kill her. And no matter what she does, um, she she can hurt him, she can like freaking like obviously murder him. He disappears and he comes back the next night. And I thought it was really well done. I mean, I wasn't sure at first. I'm like, I don't know about this. And then as it goes along and it's very creepy, you start to realize what the movie is about. And it just kind of grabs you and you're like, whoa, holy shit.
Yeah.
Because it's really about domestic violence and having this person in your house who is a monster, but during the day they might seem okay and everything's okay. And then you
And
keep, oh, yeah, go
well, yeah,
ahead.
and like that metaphor of you tell yourself it's okay and you do forget in order to survive the next day, like her to survive and domestic abuse survivors. Every day you tell yourself, nope, it's not that bad, or he's not going to come tonight, the monster, but he
Mm-hmm.
does. I'm going to tell you it's directed by Natasha Kermani, and then Bree Grant, who starred in it, also wrote the screenplay. It's premiered at South by Southwest in 2020, and it is 88% on Rotten Tomatoes for a few facts. So these are obviously heavy themes, talking about domestic violence and gaslighting and all of that. At the same time, they were able to play with like the horror and the I wouldn't call it gore. I mean, more like slasher. What would you
Yeah,
call
it
it?
is like more slasher gore. It's a lot of like blood,
Yeah.
not like eyeballs flying out or anything.
I mean, the colors are really visually stunning. And I just think about like the red light and like that whole sequence in the parking garage with all the
Yes.
women. Oh,
Oh my God, that's a great scener. It just really starts to like swell the meaning and the music and everything. You're like, holy shit. And I love like little moments where like she's like looking up what to do and it go on the internet and it goes to her. Like it's because she's supposed to be the expert on everything.
yeah.
And it's just like this great metaphor, but yet it's done in a way that it doesn't feel like heavy-handed or um you understand what they're getting at, but at the same time there's still stakes and you're still scared for her and you're still the what's happening feels real. um so I don't know, I just thought it was really good. And I want to see more movies like that.
Yeah, I agree. I like her book is about doing it alone, but then she realizes, and her editor or publisher kind of told her in the beginning, no, it should be like do it alone but together or something. I don't remember the
Mm-hmm.
exact phrasing, but
Mm-hmm.
I think that's an important message for all people, but especially women. And if you're in a situation like this, realize you don't have to suffer silently as women have done for eons,
Oh
and
my
just put
God,
up
yeah.
with a bad situation, a bad relationship, a bad job, suffer silently in order to not be the squeaky wheel, so to
Mm-hmm.
speak.
Exactly, because that's what we're
Um,
taught to
yeah,
be, is like quiet and patient and thankful and all that. But it's like, and also it's what it's way better to be alone than to be with somebody like that,
agreed.
to have that nightmare every day.
So I'm gonna get real here, friends. I write about it in our upcoming book, The Science of Serial Killers, and reveal some more. But I was in an abusive relationship, and I want to tell everyone out there that you can get out. There are ways to be safe. There are people who will help you. You're not alone. It's not your fault. No one chooses to be in an abusive relationship. And these abusers are manipulators, they are gaslighters, They will use your emotions against you, and that's not okay. And so know that there are resources, there is help, and you can do it.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And if it can happen to you, it can happen to anybody because you're educated and intelligent and all of that. And it really can happen to literally anyone. It's
Yeah, there's like some stereotypes like, well, you must be a
yeah.
weak person or you must
Yeah.
like seek out that kind of relationship or something. But
Yeah.
no, it can happen to anybody.
It really can. And it's just like I think this movie just shows the truth that is so hidden and that people don't talk about still. And think about with the pandemic and everything, how many relationships um, were strained and how people felt trapped. It's just scary. So
It
this
is,
is real life horror. So
yeah.
I think it's so brave that you talk about it in the book and you talked about it now. And I know it's not easy. So
Well, thank you. But I think too, there's that stigma. I mean, there's a lot of things that are stigmatized, like mental
I'm not
health
sure I
or
understand.
oh,
Siri, Siri's talking. Sorry.
anyway, the things that are stigmatized, like talking about mental health or having a miscarriage or being in an abusive
Mm-hmm.
relationship or any sort of health problem that might be like, well, don't you shouldn't talk about that. Like, we need to talk about all the things.
Yeah, we do. And I feel like horror has been kind of at the forefront of that for a long time. I think that, um, I mean, think of Mary Shelley. She was like, "Hey, we're going in a wrong direction. Our society is going in a wrong direction," and she wrote about it in this, allegory. Or think about, the yellow wallpaper and talking about, postpartum depression and the way men treat females when they have mental health issues. And so this is just Lucky is just an example of like use your art to talk about, you know, the truth and the reality, and sometimes art can be like a saving grace.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Preach.
I love it. So listen, we got up on our soapbox or whatever, so to speak. But do watch this movie if you haven't. I promise. It's so good. And the
Yeah, it's
end
creepy.
when she like reveals the mask and it's just
Oh, I
going through
know. Oh,
like all the people. Oh, and of course it's called Lucky because everyone just keeps telling her how lucky she is. Well,
oh,
you're lucky that you're okay. You're lucky that you survive. Well, you know what? Yeah, you might be in a bad relationship, but you're lucky to have a husband or you're lucky to have a house or you're lucky to have a job, you know? Like
yeah. And it's
no.
like, wait, why? Like, I did, she deserves all of that without the bad stuff.
Right.
Yeah, and there's that great sequence when she's when like the doctor, or I mean the ambulance people are talking to her and the
Yeah.
police are talking to her, and it's just like everyone's saying the same thing and like they're just repeating, and it's just like no one's listening to her, and
Yeah.
it's just excellent, really
Oh,
good.
so good.
Yeah, so that was a nice treat.
It was. So I know this isn't like a typical episode, but I think we should rank the movie because we typically
Okay.
rank scale of 0 to 10, 0 being you hate it, 10 being you think it's a perfect movie. I think our scale needs to be like the slasher knife thing, the knives,
Yeah,
because
it is very
they've been
slasher.
using that on social media too, and the four leaf
Mm-hmm.
clover, of course. But how many
Mm-hmm.
knives do you give Lucky?
I'm gonna give it a 9. I thought it was really good. I thought, anytime you can be scary and all that business, but still have, meaning behind what you're talking about. Female driven,
Oh, and
women,
diverse cast. I forgot to say it's diverse.
yeah, diverse cast. Yeah, I thought it was great.
I'm also giving it 9 knives. That's fun to say,
Yep,
9 knives.
9 knives.
And yes, check it out. Now, there's another movie that came out recently, and you got to see it. I haven't gotten a chance because I've been rewatching old things like the trash person I am.
No, that's like, this is what we have to do. I mean, the panty is still going on. We
Mhm.
still need our comfort. So, no, that's what we got to do. I watched a lot. I rewatched like some really dorky stuff when I was doing some writing recently. I watched like all the teen like cute get together movies and shows.
Like what? I want to hear this before I want to hear about this other horror movie.
Well, I like rewatched Never Have I Ever and
Aw.
Dash and Lily and like things
Oh,
like that. I did that because I was writing and I was like, I need something on I've seen, and I just needed that energy, you know?
I
I needed
love
that
that.
energy.
I'm gonna rewatch Dash and Lily now.
It was totally worth it.
Okay, good.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so I watched Slacks.
Now, for people who don't know, and you can't get into spoilers because I haven't seen it, but
Okay.
like I read the description, I'm like,
I
what the heck? There's a killer pair of pants,
know.
but it works. Hey,
Well, okay. So obviously I went in with extremely low expectations because I'm like, I'm just gonna put this on and like this will be funny or something, like bad funny or whatever, whatever. But I had seen like people say like this actually is decent. So I'm like, okay. So right away when it started, it has like a budget and it has like good music and good like coloring and like everything. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. And it's Canadian, so I like that about it. But what I will
wait, now,
say,
did it take place in Canada, just like Nick
yes,
Cronenberg? Oh my goodness,
yes,
you're two for two.
I know. It is well done. There's good gore in it. There's really good gore that I really enjoyed. Um, it's fun. It has meaning behind it. I think you and Campbell would have fun watching it.
Okay.
Like I know it's like, oh my God. And now of course it's like I'm like building it up. But it is a movie about a killer pair of pants. So that's the truth. But I don't know. I got a kick out of it. I thought they did a good job. They didn't take themselves too seriously, which you have to do in a movie like that.
Right.
But at the same time, they had this like really, the story behind the pants is like almost like poignant. So
Oh
it's like,
wow.
oh my God. So I don't know.
Okay.
I'm interested to hear what you think when you get a chance.
No, I'm gonna check it out. This reminds me though, I have not seen this movie, but people keep posting about it on TikTok. There's like this killer couch or chair.
I've heard that one too. I know.
I've seen like the clips of it's like looking at like the woman through the upstairs window and then it's gone and then it like kills somebody or something. It looks very funny.
Yeah, I know. I think as long as the filmmakers themselves like do it right and they're like,
Right.
okay, this is cheeky or whatever, then it can be okay.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if I can get through that one. I don't know.
Yeah. Now the other thing that I'm behind on, Meg, this is happening. You're actually ahead of me on some things. This never happened.
Yeah,
You
that's
are
true.
current. Well, you're not current because you're not done yet, but you're watching season 2 of Servant.
I'm like 2 episodes away from being done, but yeah.
And
I know.
well, no spoilers, but is it good?
It's good. And well, I saw somebody complaining on Twitter. They're like, nothing happens in every episode. Like, it wasn't something to happen. And so I had that in the back of my mind, like when I started it. And like every episode, I'm like, what do you mean nothing's happening? There's stuff happening all the time. I don't know why.
No, but it's that kind of show. I mean, there's not going to be like people coming through windows with crowbars, you know?
I know.
You're like, that actually happened.
Oh my God. It's M. Night himself.
Yeah.
So it has that same atmosphere that the first season had. It has just like creepy ass shit everywhere. Like, I think it's great. I mean, there's some like logical things where I'm like, just like real world logic where I'm like, okay. And then my only complaint is sometimes they have so many questions that I wouldn't mind like one answer. Like it's like a pace thing. Okay. Sorry, we're recording right now.
You're going to be on the podcast.
Yeah, you're going to be on the podcast now. I'm talking to Vicky. Anyway, it's like, okay, I need a few more answers before I like lose my mind right now. Okay. But that's okay. They're giving us answers now. I'm feeling like as the season goes on, I'm getting more. So anyway, no, I love it. And like I said on Twitter yesterday, like Lauren Ambrose, like she was amazing in the first season, but I feel like in this season she's even more like just she deserves all the awards. She's playing such a complicated character and I just love it.
Oh,
So
okay.
so
I'm
good. You
excited.
have to watch.
I think that a binge might be in line for this
Yeah.
weekend because I haven't
Yeah.
done that in a while. Well, because last weekend we were busy, we were working, you and
I
I,
know.
and I feel like we've been working every weekend
I
for
know.
months, and that's
I
fine. But
know.
at the same time, like I'm gonna have a binge.
Yeah, I think you should. It's a perfect show to binge too, because like the episodes are only like 35 minutes, 40 minutes or something. And so it's just easy to like lay there and let them come. So
Okay, good.
so
Uh,
good.
I'm not sure when these awards will be announced, but we're part of the Minnesota Film Critics Association, and we were able to nominate or put
We
forward
put
our
in like
nominations.
our thoughts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they came out yesterday, and let's just say Promising Young Woman and Invisible Man made the ballot, so I'm very proud of that. But I feel like my biggest achievement is that Bo Burnham is on there for Best Supporting Actor for Promising Young Woman.
Yay!
You
I
did
think
it,
Kelly did
Joe.
that. Kelly did it single-handedly.
I was trying to manifest it, and it
Yep,
happened.
it worked. You're a witch.
So I'm very thankful, and
So when
obviously there's a lot of great movies.
If Bo Burnham doesn't get nominated, um, or no, wait, he didn't get
No.
nominated, but he did in our hearts
In Minnesota,
Minnesota,
so
in Minnesota. So
that's the only nomination that really matters, right?
yeah, we should tweet at him that.
I will. I'm going to
Yeah.
actually.
Yes.
He's not active, but
It's
maybe his
fine.
people will let him know.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, so
Yes.
stay tuned to hear who won the Minnesota Film
Yeah.
Critics Awards.
Yes.
And of
The
course,
highest honor.
yes, and there's of course the Academy Awards and um well, I guess we've had a lot of other award shows already, but Promising Young Woman keeps winning, and I'm so thankful.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. Love that movie.
Something I was watching with the director's commentary, not that anybody wants to know this, but the two stories that Bo Burnham tells Carrie Mulligan on their first date about like med school stories, those are actual stories that happened to Emerald Fennell's med school friend. I
Ooh.
know. If you've seen it, you know. I'm sorry, I'm choking. It's so shocking. They actually happen. There's
um
there's all sorts of people in this world.
there are. Isn't that nice? I was just saying to Fox this morning, isn't it nice we're all different? That's a big one around here. Well, what else? What else have you've been rewatching stuff?
Yeah. And I've since I've been getting more physical media, you remember back in the day we used to have everything on VHS, and then I got rid of my VHS. I'm like, I'll just give it on DVD. But then
Yep.
it was like, well, now it's Blu-ray, so now I got to switch out to a Blu-ray.
Yeah.
And so I slowly
Yeah.
like accumulated, but then I got rid of a bunch of stuff.
I got rid of it all, yeah.
But now I'm accumulating again. And so I've started watching movies that of course I've already seen, but watching with the director's commentary, and it is fascinating.
That's really cool. I feel like it's a good way to learn about filmmaking. Like
Yeah.
if anybody's interested in filmmaking, I think that's a great way to just start understanding, what goes through a director's head and everything.
And the other thing we used to take for granted, like when we would get the physical Netflix, is we'd always watch special features. But now you can't
Yeah.
watch special features on
No.
streaming, or if you can,
No.
it's very
I don't
hidden, or
I
I don't know.
guess yeah, maybe there's some on there. I don't think that's too common.
But now I've been watching special features, and that's fun too.
Oh, that is fun. Remember the X-Files like blooper tape
Oh
that
my
we had?
God, that was amazing.
That was fun. That was so fun.
It felt so secretive, and
I know. Because it was, I don't know where you got that.
I got it off of eBay, I think.
It's like black market. It was
Yeah.
supposed to be like just for the cast and crew or
Yeah.
something, right? As like a red and blue light, like shine on your face,
Yeah.
and then cops come running in and
Yeah, because
arrest you.
we just admitted it.
Yeah.
And even though this episode hasn't aired, it's streaming somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, the FBI agent's
They
looking
heard.
through the camera, right?
Well, we're probably bugged right now because the government cares what we're saying.
Yeah.
They're like, what did they think about Lucky? How many
Yeah. that meme, like it's like an FBI. I don't know if it's a fake picture or whatever, but it's like an FBI agent outside of somebody's house, like carrying 2 gallons of milk, and it's like the FBI agent when he hears you're out of milk.
Oh God.
The FBI doesn't have time for that business. Speaking of
No.
FBI, Riverdale, I watched last night's episode. They've gone full X-Files.
Okay. I
All you
think
need
I'm
to
gonna
know.
rewatch the 2 episodes we watched the other night
Well,
because
we didn't really watch them.
we were just being silly and we weren't
Yeah.
paying attention. Not that I really need to pay attention, but
No, I mean you'll appreciate it.
exactly. And I want to watch the episode that came out last night. Oh, Juggy. That's all I want to think about.
I know.
You know?
Well, I think we'll end there because we don't need to go down that rabbit hole again.
We don't need to go down. I already embarrassed myself with Patrick Wilson.
Yeah.
What if I ever meet him, Kelly, and he's like, you just went on and on about me on Horror Rewind?
No, he'll never talk to you because he'll have a restraining order by then.
Okay.
I'm sure it's cut to the cops coming to your house right now.
I know. With a restraining order letter from Patrick Wilson.
You'd be like, did he sign it? Actually,
I know. I'd be like, oh my God, did he touch this? He knows my name.
He did it. It was his name. Wait, was my name on his lips?
Oh God. Okay.
Okay, friends.
We're getting silly.
Yeah. Tweet us, add us, tell us what we need to be watching because obviously I have some catching up to do, but also like we can't possibly know everything that's new and good because we're busy and I need to know. I need recommendations.
Yeah, tell us. Seriously, because recommendations are everything right now. Because it's like I
Word
go
of mouth
Shudder
and
or whatever, and there's just like so many things, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what to start. Like, you know.
And especially for me with books, like a book is an investment and I don't have time to read a bad book right now. Like give me a good recommendation.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you're asking, I have quite a list.
I'm ready.
Okay. When you come down next, I can lend you some books.
That sounds good.
Okay.
Okay, everybody. We hope that you are doing well, being well, staying safe. Remember to do all the things that you should be doing, taking care of yourself, taking care of others, donate to organizations that are important to donate to right now. There's a lot going on in the world and especially AAPI organizations. I just attended a meeting last night about it and we need to do more, friends. So let's do it.
Yep. Yep. And, you know, as Kelly was saying, if you're in a bad situation, do what you can to extricate yourself from that situation. Seek help. People want to help you.
Yes. Okay. Until next time, we'll see you in the horror section.
Bye.